For his part, President Obama argues that doing that, disallowing them, would be downright un-American. Watch.
My first priority is the safety of the American people. And that's why even as we accept more refugees, including Syrians, we do so only after subjecting them to rigorous screening and security checks. We also have to remember that many of these refugees are the victims of terrorism themselves. That's what they're fleeing. Slamming the door in their faces would be a betrayal of our values. Our nations can welcome refugees who are desperately seeking safety and ensure our own security. We can and must do both.
Judge Andrew Napolitano is our Fox News senior judicial analyst. So now we know, Judge, that at least one of the killers in Paris was a man who had posed as a refugee coming in via other countries, but ultimately into Paris, claiming that he needed, sanctuary.
Well, that's the problem. I don't think anybody disputes what the president says, that some of these people are themselves victims and some of them are bona fide refugees. The problem is that hidden among them will be some of the worst people we could ever want in the United States, and people about whose presence we all should be fearful and fight politically to prevent from happening. The other problem that the president must know is that your ability to search a person's background is only as good as the database to which you have access.
Right.
Now, there are some limited databases. If these people travel to United Emirates or to Saudi Arabia, they might be on those lists. But for the most part, Syria is such a mess that there's an inadequate database in order to search the backgrounds of the people coming here. I'm not talking about their medical backgrounds. I'm talking about their political and legal backgrounds.
That's how it sounded this weekend when the White House was in sharp disagreement with Pete King about just how good the screening process is. Listen here.
We have very extensive screening procedures for all Syrian refugees who would come to the United States. There's a very careful vetting process that includes our intelligence community, our National Counterterrorism Center, the Department of Homeland Security.
And what he just said about the robust vetting of refugees is untrue. There's virtually no vetting because there are no databases in Syria. There are no government records. We don't know who these people are.
So now at least 8 governors are saying, we're not taking them. But there's a question about whether legally they're allowed to do that.
I think that the president will probably order the Department of Homeland Security to ignore the governors. My heart is with the governors, but let's face it, this is a federal issue. The president makes these decisions under federal law. There is no cap on the number of refugees that he can admit here for political asylum purposes or for humanitarian purposes. But he has a paramount obligation to make sure the databases that they search exist and are up to date and have accurate information in them.
How are they taking what a mess Syria is? Whose database are we going to get their information
Congressman
from?
King is correct. Mr. Rhodes is speaking the political line. Congressman King is speaking the intelligence line. The databases don't exist. How can the president possibly assure us that these folks he's going to admit here will not have among their number the type of people that perpetrated that monstrosity Friday night in Paris?
Judge, thank you.